Hey guys, today I'm bringing you another build video. This time we're going to be on Hunter, Solar Hunter specifically, and this isn't going to be like your meta Star Eater Scales or Assassin's Cowl Hunter. This is going to be a Caliban's Hand Hunter. I was looking through my vault, saw this exotic, realized I haven't used it in like 6 months. It is really strong at its prime. It's got nerfs since then, but it's still really fun to run around with. Just a preference this build. It's not going to be a meta build. I wouldn't recommend taking this into GMs or like a master raid, but it is really fun to run around with on like Neo Muna or like a Lost Sector and just watch everything blow up. This build's all about ability spam. You're going to be chucking firebolts. You're going to be chucking your knife as much as possible, getting so much energy for your super that you'll get a super every minute or so if you have enough enemies to kill it. It's very nice, very fun build to run around with, but like I said, not the most meta build ever. If you want a meta solar build, look for a Star Eater scale build, or you could probably just run this build honestly. Instead of Caliban's, run Star Eater with Knife Trick as the melee. It probably will accomplish the same thing, but in higher activities. Anyways, let's get into the subclass. Subclass we have, or the super of choice is Blade Barrage. Blade Barrage is just a quick burst damage. We want to throw it out and just melt anything we see. Very helpful. You can use Marksman if you want to use your brain a little bit, but I like to turn my brain off when I play this game sometimes, so Blade Barrage is perfect for that. Firebolts are the native choice because they are just insane this season. Easily the best solar nade this season because of the artifact perks we have. We have Proxy Knife because it's just really good, and we need it for Caliban's Hand. It won't proc without Caliban's Hand, or Caliban's Hand won't proc without this knife, so you really need this knife equipped for it. And then Gambler's Dodge is equipped just in case we lose our knife, so we can get a second knife really fast and keep our chain going. Aspects of choice is Knock 'em Down. Knock 'em Down is the Hunter Solar Super Exotic. It just makes Blade Barrage launch more projectiles, which increases the damage significantly. It's very helpful, but the main reason we are running this aspect is because of the bottom sentence. Whenever we are Radiant and get a Throwing Knife final blow, we will get a full Throwing Knife back. So it just allows for you to chain Throwing Knives. So as long as you are getting kills, you can just keep throwing Throwing Knives. It's very nice and a very fun way to cycle your abilities. Second aspect is On Your Mark. We're not really using On Your Mark for its main reason, which is giving handling and reload stacks whenever you roll or get precision kills. We're using it strictly for the 3 fragment slots. If I had a choice in the matter, I would use Gunpowder Gamble, but since it only has 1 slot, it's kind of like you can't really use it without making the build suffer a bunch. So we have On Your Mark strictly for those extra fragments. The first fragment up is Ember Searing, so we can create fire sprites. Fire sprites will give you grenade energy whenever they are picked up, and also whenever you spawn a fire sprite, you will get a burst of melee energy as well. Very good fragment, would recommend running it. Also, on top of that fragment, to pair with it, we have Ember Mercy, so whenever you grab a fire sprite, you'll get 2 full seconds of restoration. Very helpful when you're in a sticky spot and you just need a quick burst of healing. Just run over a fire sprite, get grenade energy, and get restoration. Third fragment is Ember of Resolve, so whenever you get a solar grenade final blow, you'll get cured, which is a slight burst of healing. It's not the most healing ever, but it's, with this build, we'll be throwing a lot of firebolts, so this will just stack up, and you'll notice a big difference with this fragment equipped. The reason we're running this over Empyrean is because Empyrean has a weird bug right now with Mercy. Whenever you grab a brand new fire sprite, even if you have Empyrean at 12 seconds, like the max time you can have on restoration, it'll reset your restoration to 2 seconds. I'm not sure why. I think it is a bug, but at the moment you can't really run these two together because they just cancel each other out basically. Ember of Torches are our next fragment, just so we can get Radiant. This one's really self-explanatory, so whenever we throw a throwing knife and it kills a target, or hits them in general, if it damages the target, we will get Radiant. But if it kills them, it'll also proc Knock them down. So from 1 throwing knife, if we have no buffs, we will get Radiant and our throwing knife back. It's very, very nice, and probably one of the most important fragments on this build because it makes this aspect work. Last fragment is Ember of Ashes, just to apply more Scorch stacks so things can blow up easier. Onto the weapons. My weapons aren't really they're kind of unique. They're not really meta defining. You could run Prometheus Lens and a rocket and probably accomplish the same job but better. But I really wanted to use Colony this season because I got like a little secret slight buff, because Holster Mod's got a really big buff. Every 2 seconds they'll generate an ammo into the mag, which means Parasite can get reloaded if it is in your backpack for 2 to 3 seconds. It's very nice because you can just spam it as much as you want and just no consequences. It's very, very quick reload and does a ton of damage, so it's very helpful. Riptide's on here for champions because Chill Clip can stagger both Overload and Unstoppables. I would recommend a Lead from Gold instead of auto-loading. I only have auto-loading because I do not have a Lead from Gold. So get Lead from Gold, Chill Clip if you can have one. If not, anything Chill Clip's fine. We have Retraced Path because I wanted to run double special to keep up as much heavy as possible so we can have Colony at all times. And I'm just using Retraced Path because it has Incandescence so we can start spreading Scorch a lot easier. That's enough of the gear. Let's move on to the mods. The mods are all grenade orientated, so we have our classic Siphon, our Firepower, and a Reaper to generate as many orbs as we can. Those orbs will turn into armor charges. They will also proc Innervation, so we can throw our grenade with 4 armor charges because we have charged up in stacks and stacks. So whenever we grab an orb, we get 2 charges, and we can stack up to 4 now. We can use those 4 charges to throw a grenade, get grenade kickstarts going, and get about half our nade back. Those grenades can get a kill with Firepower and give us Innervation, which they'll generate an orb and give us Innervation, which will give us even more grenade energy. Bomber, whenever we roll or use our class ability, we'll get grenade energy. And then on top of that, we are ability spamming with this build. So Ashes to Assets and Hands On will be giving us a bunch of super energy, and it'll be very helpful to get us as many Blade Barrages as possible to output as much damage. Last section is Artifact. Artifact's very important this time around because we have Rain of Firebolts, which will give us a second charge to our Firebolts. But more importantly, Flare Up, which will apply more Scorch stacks to our Firebolts. So it'll make our Firebolts ignite any target as long as you're throwing 2 abilities at them, whether it's a knife and a firebolt or both your Firebolts, it'll ignite the target. And also, it will give a fire sprite whenever you damage something with a firebolt. The other mods that matter are Solar Surge, which will give us armor charges whenever we pick up a fire sprite, and Shatter Orbs, which will give us an orb of power whenever we break a solar shield. And then these solar and grenade discount mods are very, very important because we couldn't have as many grenade mods as we have if we didn't have those mods selected. That's about it for the build. We're going to get into gameplay now, and I'll talk about how to use this build. So the gameplay of this build consists of getting stuff weak enough so your abilities can kill them, or using Incandescence off your energy weapon to kill stuff. It is just a chaining effect off of all 3 of those things, your energy weapon with Incandescence, melee, and grenade. As long as you're getting kills with against targets that have Scorch, you will be getting ability energy, so you can just continue to spam stuff. I do have Empyrean on, it seems like, in this clip because I was testing it out. I'm sorry about that, but you do get to see how it's bugged out. So when I grab this fire spray, you'll see my restoration go to 2 seconds, and I will lose it. So unfortunately, it is bugged. Like I said, if it wasn't, we would be using it. Anyways, the build is just kill stuff with Scorch. So Incandescence supply Scorch, ability supply Scorch, and use Parasite. I called it Colony, my bad. Use Parasite whenever there's a big horde or a big boss that needs to be chunked down. To end off the video, I'm just going to let a Legend Lost sector play in the background and just let you guys see the build in action. I'm only -8 for this Legend Lost sector, so I kind of do just run through it, but you can just see how powerful the build is against champions and other adds because you are constantly able to ignite at your own will. Don't forget that your energy weapon can ignite if you have Incandescence, and it will give you ability energy when you get kills with it. On top of that, I hope you guys enjoy the build. Good luck using it. If you have any ways to improve it, let me know down in the comments, and I shall reply. Other than that, if you liked the video, please subscribe. Trying to hit 1,000 subs, and I hope you have a good day. See ya.